Have you ever studied a subject for hours, felt entirely confident that you understood the material, and then sat down for the test only to realize your mind is completely blank? It is an incredibly frustrating experience, especially when, in that exact same moment, you can easily recall the lyrics to a random pop song you haven't heard in years. When this happens, it feels like a failure. But forgetting information is actually one of the most critical, intentional functions your body performs daily. Every single second of your life, your brain receives an unbelievable amount of information. The background noise of traffic, passing faces on the sidewalk, snippets of conversation, and all of your own internal thoughts are processed simultaneously. If your memory operated like a video camera, recording and keeping every tiny detail forever, your mind would quickly become so buried in data it would struggle to function at all. Instead of a camera, your brain operates more like a smart filter, actively deciding what information is worth keeping. This filter actively turns away the mundane, everyday details, like what you had for breakfast last Tuesday, to ensure your memory remains efficient and make space for the things that actually matter. There is a strict biological reason for this. Maintaining the physical connections between your brain cells requires immense energy. To conserve power, your brain constantly targets and weakens the connections for data you rarely use. The deleted information is never chosen at random. Your brain strategically clears out unvisited memories to make physical space for the knowledge that helps you navigate the world and stay safe. In the late 19th century, a psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus ran a series of experiments and mapped out exactly how your brain naturally schedules information to fade if you don't use it. This chart shows Ebbinghaus's discovery, the forgetting curve. Notice how the line plunges immediately. Within hours, new details naturally vanish. Over several days, unreviewed information continues to weaken, eventually flattening near the bottom, becoming almost impossible to find. When you don't revisit a memory, your brain assumes it isn't useful anymore. To save energy, it permanently cuts your access to that material. This natural deletion cycle explains why reading a textbook for 6 hours the night before an exam rarely works. Attempting to cram all that data at once plays right into your brain's biological schedule for throwing things away. But this raises a major question. If the brain deletes unreviewed facts so aggressively, why do you vividly remember your first big achievement, or the terrifying feeling of a near miss in traffic, without ever studying those moments? The reason is simply emotion and importance. When an event triggers a powerful emotional reaction, like extreme joy, surprise, or sudden fear, your body floods the brain with a massive chemical surge. That chemical surge sends an immediate signal. It tells your brain that whatever is happening right now is vital for your survival, marking the memory as highly important for permanent storage. To get information into your long-term memory, you can either rely on that intense emotional spark, or you can use specific habits that convince your brain to save information the long way. Since we can't manufacture a massive surge of adrenaline for a boring textbook chapter, we have to rely on study habits that prove the information is worth keeping. The first method is the repetition rule. Reading something only once gives your brain permission to delete it, but reviewing the same material over a span of multiple days forces your brain to pay attention. This chart shows how repetition breaks the deletion cycle. Every single time you review the material, you push the line on the graph back up to 100%. Eventually, the downward slope becomes much flatter, and the memory stays put. The second method is the no-peek test. Passively rereading your notes sends a very weak signal to your memory, but closing the book and searching for the answer from scratch provides a rigorous workout for your mind. The sheer physical effort of trying to remember an answer without looking builds much more durable links between your brain cells than simply staring at a page. The third step is the teacher method. Take the new concepts you just learned and attempt to explain them out loud to a friend, a family member, or even your pet. Teaching forces your brain to organize messy, complicated information clearly. It demands that you anchor this new knowledge to concepts you already understand so you can explain it to someone else. This creates an interlocking web of memories. Instead of being an isolated fact that is easily lost, the new information is anchored firmly in place, making it much harder for your brain to weaken and sever the connection. Forgetting is actually proof that your brain is working at peak efficiency. It is being selective to keep your mind clear and fast. The next time you forget a detail, remember that your mind is just filtering the noise. Your job is simply to give your brain enough good reasons to remember the things that truly matter.